I was walking across the yard after breakfast when I was seized again with the pains and sensations that went before the change of character. I only had time to gain the shelter of my laboratory before I was once again experiencing the rage and hatreds of Edward Hyde. It took on this occasion a double dose to bring back Henry Jekyll, and alas, 6 hours after, as I sat looking sadly into the fire, the pains returned, and the drug had to be taken once more. In short, from that day on, it seemed only by a greater effort, and only through the immediate swallowing of the drug, that I was able to wear the shape of Jekyll. At all hours of the day and night, I would be taken with the violent trembling that was the first warning of a change of shape and character. Above all, if I slept, or even nodded off for a moment in my chair, it was always as Hyde that I awakened. Under the strain of the sleeplessness to which I now condemned myself, I became, in my own person, a creature eaten up and emptied by fever, weak both in mind and body, and occupied by only one thought, the horror of my other self. And when I did sleep, or when the effect of the drug wore off, I would spring almost without thought now, for the pains grew daily less marked, into the possession of a fancy filled with images of terror, a soul boiling with causeless hatreds, and a body that seemed not strong enough to contain the life that raged within. The powers of Hyde seemed to have grown with the sickness of Jekyll, and certainly the hate that now divided them was equal on each side. Jekyll had now seen to the full the evil of the creature that shared with him the body of one man, knew only too well the devil that lay caged in his flesh, where he heard it mutter and felt it struggle to be born. The hatred of Hyde for Jekyll was of a different order. His terror of the gallows drove him, for a time, to return to the shelter of Jekyll's body, but he hated the dislike that Jekyll had for him, and indeed, had it not been for his fear of death, he would long ago have ruined himself in order to bring me to ruin. But his love of life is wonderful. I go further. I, who sicken and freeze at the mere thought of him, still find it in my heart to pity him, when I remember how he fears my power to cut him off by suicide.